Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday morning, May the 5th. Today, our devotion is still in the area of generous justice. Just the title is Justice in Response to God's Grace. This is Deuteronomy 10 verses 17 through 19. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and accepts no bribes. He defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow and loves the foreigner residing among you, giving them food and clothing. And you are to love those who are foreigners, for you yourselves were foreigners in Egypt. Reading that last line, I can't help but think of what Jorge and Suhaili are going through, uh, the worry that's got to be on their minds. The Israelites had been poor, racial outsiders in Egypt. How then, Moses asked, could they be callous to the poor, racial outsiders in their own midst? Through Moses, God said, Israel, you were liberated by me. You did not accomplish it. I performed it for you by my grace. Now do the same for others. Untie the yoke, unlock the shackles, feed and clothe them as I did for you. Of particular interest in Moses' exhortation to circumcise your hearts, verse 16, verse just before our passage for today. Circumcision was the external sign that a family had come into a covenant relationship with God. Heart circumcision was a passionate commitment to God on the inside. Meeting the needs of the orphan, the widow, and the poor immigrant was a sign that the Israelites' relationship with God was not just formal and external, but internal as well. The logic is clear. If a person has grasped the meaning of God's grace in his heart, he will do justice. If he doesn't live justly, then he may say with his lips that he is grateful for God's grace, but in his heart, he's far from him. If he doesn't care about the poor, it reveals that at best, he doesn't understand the grace that he has experienced. And at worst, he has not really encountered the saving mercy of God. Grace should make you just. Again, kind of echoes Sunday's sermon a little bit as far as being merciful. If you want to receive mercy, you've got to be willing to give it to others as well. And that is the picture I think that we get here as he says to Israel, hey, I did that for you. Now you need to do it for others. That you need to reflect my spirit in you to others. And that was part of the Jewish law when the Lord gave it to Moses. And all through, today I was listening to music this morning, and Michael Card's song came on about the mental block just happened now, the year of Jubilee, where every 50 years debts were forgiven, slaves were set free. That's mercy. That's grace. That's helping those who need to be helped, and we have the ability to do so. It's God all over every page, showing grace, showing mercy, asking us to be part of that in our lives and to other lives as well, so that we're not judging, we're not trying to get people to like us by being merciful, but it's a real heart issue. Micah 6:8, it's on my shirt. You really can't see it. But it's that verse where the Lord says, what does God require of you, O man? Do justice, love mercy, walk humbly with your God. That's how our lives are supposed to be lived. And we can get caught up. We can get caught up in the mess that's in our world, the horrendous things that are done. Those teenagers in our area that burned a man alive sleeping on the street, on the sidewalk. We have ongoing wars that just never seem to end. Israel continues to bombard those that they think are out to, well, they're out to get them. There's no doubt about that. But they're also bombing places they don't even know the enemy's there, and many, and not just there, but Ukraine, um, Russia, or Africa, all kinds of places are seeing innocent people dying in the midst of a war that's not theirs, in the midst of bombs being dropped on them, even though they really aren't enemies of the people who are dropping the bombs on them. That's our world. Uh, that's um, that's our country at times. The way people get treated like immigrants, we have fallen into that trap of everybody's the same, right? Oh, immigrants. Oh, those people. No, we know in our church from a fact, immigrants are wonderful. They're a part of who we are. We get to help them, serve them, as the Lord would want us to, just as was the law for Israel. It's what happened from Pentecost on in the New Testament, the helping of others, laying the sacrifice out there for them, selling. We early on in the church in Acts, people are selling their property so that money can be given for the ministry of the church, which was helping the poor and the needy, those who had less. And so that's justice in response to God's grace. In other words, He has shown us grace, and in the showing of grace, He has shown us mercy because we didn't deserve it. That's the thing about grace. We didn't deserve it, but He gave it very mercifully to us. Those are the things we need to be looking at our world. And yes, it's frustrating. Yes, sometimes it makes you just want to crawl in a hole. I understand that. I feel that way sometimes when I hear things being said, when I hear lies being told, and then the person who told the lie says, yeah, sometimes you got to lie to get people to understand your point. No, no, that's not how it works. We look at God's grace, and the justice that we want to see done is a fair justice. Fair justice. And when we do that, we help make the world a better place. We help change people's lives. When they thought themselves to be worthless people, when they're shown love and mercy, when they're helped out by others, it can change not just their perspective on the human race, but it can change their perspective on themselves and help them to move forward in life and hopefully move toward wanting to follow the Lord and receive Him into their lives. Let Him take them as living clay and remold and reshape them. But we need to start the ball on that. We need to show God's grace. We need to show them there are people who don't judge them, who don't want to see them punished in some way because we're blaming them for the whatever in our country. We always find, and that's true throughout all history, pretty much through all governments and cultures, we're having a problem. Who are we going to blame today? Who are we going to say is at fault in this? That's not the way of Christ either. And it can't be our way either. Blessings to you today. Show love and grace and mercy to others because you've received it from the Lord. at the price of his death on the cross for us. Blessings to you today on this Tuesday.